What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I am now a commercial multi-engine pilot. Thank you guys for all the support last year. We grew so much more than I thought we would, and it is now 2025, January 1st when I'm filming this video. I do have a couple channel updates about my career as a pilot. I'm gonna put that to the end because I know you guys are here to hear about my multi-engine check ride, but if you're interested in that, stay tuned for the end of the video. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so I am now officially a commercial multi-engine pilot. I want to go over some things that are important for you to know before you go into your commercial multi-engine check ride that I wish I knew and that you will probably want to know before you get into it. Just to kind of start this off, I want you guys to understand that getting into a multi-engine airplane, transitioning from a Cessna 172 or a Piper, it is going to be a very different and advanced aircraft than what you are used to. It might stress you out on the first day. It might make you feel very uncomfortable, and it might put you outside of your comfort zone. Personally, after the first day of my training was super intense. It was a 4-day course. After my first day, my brain was extremely fried. I couldn't study even if I wanted to. I got home and I went straight to bed and I slept for 14 hours. It was extremely intense for me, and I have flown high performance airplanes for around 50 hours before that. They were all single engine, but it was just unlike anything I've ever done before. And also I was flying out of a short runway, so that added to the factor the runway wasn't the best quality. Be sure that you know as much about the airplane that you will be flying before you start your training. Know your V speeds, your weight and balance calculations, your stop and go distances, your accelerate go distances, your performance charts, your single engine service ceiling, all of your calculations. Please know these by heart. You will probably be asked to redo one of these calculations on your check ride. I did. And be sure that you understand how CG affects multi-engine airplanes. Fortunately for me, I was in a Duchess, so the propellers are counter-rotating. It's not a conventional twin, which means it is to my advantage, of course, when it comes to flying the aircraft. There's no critical engine. Be sure that you understand the special tidbits about your airplane. For example, my airplane is counter-rotating. Understand everything that goes into flying that aircraft and the aerodynamic principles about the airplane, because that's majority of what you're going to cover. You're already a commercial pilot likely before you do your multi-engine, so you're adding information to that. The aerodynamics is the biggest new topic, the most important new topic about flying a multi-engine aircraft and getting your commercial multi-engine. So next we're going to go into considering your experience with flying high performance complex aircraft. So this is what I was going to touch on earlier. You may need a couple extra lessons, and that is okay. It is, like I said, a big leap. Okay, you're going to go from flying a single engine aircraft to one that has double the horsepower. It is okay to need a little extra training or to need 1 or more days. So let's go back to what I was saying about my course. It was a 4-day course, so it's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 is a mock check ride, and then you jump straight into the check ride the 5th day. I did it according to plan. There was a moment where my instructor was like, hey, the DP is available today on the 4th day. I was like, I'm not ready. I need to fly today. He's like, well, we can fly today, have a warm-up flight, and then you can do your check ride after. No, I need the extra lesson, and I am so happy I did that because I probably would have failed if I would have just jumped into it. So it's okay to tell your instructor that you're not ready. Your instructor should not send you into a check ride that you do not feel ready for. Should not. Another thing that you have to consider is the avionics and the radios and the navigational equipment in that aircraft. If you're not familiar with it, please read the handbooks beforehand. Try getting the aircraft on X-Plane, Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's what I did. I was fortunate enough to be able to download the Duchess that I was flying in my X-Plane 12, and I do have a flight simulator, so that helped me for sure. Really just going through the startup sequences, because obviously you have 2 engines instead of 1. Be sure you understand your avionics. So a lot of people nowadays who go to flight schools, they didn't really do it. So I went a flight club route, and there's just a couple airplanes and very basic 6-pack instrument airplanes. That was the cheapest route, cheapest way for me to get it done. But now I'm transitioning into G1000. I'll talk about that later. Understand the GPS. Please understand your avionics. So if you have dual G5s, that's what I did. I had never flown dual G5s, and you have to do a single engine instrument approach. How do you think you are going to do if you've never flown with a G5 or maybe a G1000 or something of that nature when you're coming from a 6-pack instrument and you get a faster airplane? You have to fly on one engine. You have to compensate for that. My light just died. Whatever, it's okay. Understand your airplane, your avionics specifically, because you will fly instruments on one engine down to your minimums. I had to do a circle to land on my Checkride, so be sure that that is something that you are proficient in. Okay, so another thing that you will have to understand, and that was actually really nice for me, was that your airspeeds will be much faster than what you're used to. For example, your steep turns, they are going to feel so abnormally different because this airspeeds, at least in the Duchess, it was about 125 knots versus about 95 was what I was used to in my N model 172s that I trained in. So when you roll out of one steep turn and it's a hot day out, you're not going to be at that airspeed. So you're going to fly straight to get to that airspeed again, that maneuvering airspeed, and then turn right. In a multi-engine airplane, you're going to turn. As soon as you roll out, you should be going into that right turn. And you're going to be going way faster. You're not going to need to catch back up to your VA. And it's important that you understand, again, everything is coming at you faster. So be sure you're staying ahead of the airplane. Imagine your instrument training. Always stay ahead of the aircraft is what you have to do in this situation, because your patterns are going to come at you faster. Your downwind, your base, your final. You have to worry about gear now. You have to worry about your flaps or no flaps. My aircraft particularly, you didn't even need to land with flaps unless you're doing a short field landing. Everything comes at you a lot faster, so be sure that you understand that you're going to have to anticipate things coming at you a lot faster. The last thing that I want to go over is, I think, the most important one. If you stuck around to this 8-minute 48-second mark, thank you so much. This is the most important thing. The only 2 people that have failed the course that my instructor taught was because they didn't run checklists. Guys, do not forget to run checklists. When you're going to set up for your VMC demo, when you're going to set up for your accelerated power on, power off, steep turns, please use your checklist. You are flying an aircraft that you're not used to flying. You're flying an well, likely, unless you got to train in a Baron throughout all your training or in a Duchess. I highly doubt that. Run checklists. You will miss something if you do not run all your checklists. Remember to look at everything on the checklist as well. For example, there was this one time I was training with my instructor and I skipped one single thing, and that one single thing could have been catastrophic if my instructor didn't see that I missed that. So, and that's totally normal. You know, you're gonna miss something. It's not something you're used to. VMC demos are very, very, very critical that you ensure you're running a full checklist before you do that. Overlooking one simple thing on your checklist on any maneuver, which is, there's quite a few maneuvers, can cause you to fail your Checkride, and you do not want to fail your commercial multi-engine Checkride. All right, guys, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate all the support, and I just want to have this one-on-one conversation with you as the viewer and me as a content creator. So I have acquired a job at a flight school, a 141 accredited school that works with the university, sends their students down to do their training, and then sends them back up to finish their degrees. They come and get their ratings. It's a very advanced flight training program / school. I am very, very excited. I am in shock that I made it this far. My goal for this year was CFI, not just CFI with a job. I got this job about a month ago, and I'm still going through training. I'm going through my syllabus with instrument, private, commercial, and I'm getting accustomed to the G1000 platform. It's been a lot of work. There's about 640 pages on the G1000 manual, and I'm really trying to get very proficient with that airplane. I'm also now flying a very new advanced aircraft. It's a very advanced, it's a 2023 aircraft. I'll just leave it at that. And I won't be flying it as often, but I will be flight instructing full time. But I want to get feedback from you guys as the viewer. What do you guys want to see from this channel? I have uploaded a lot of guides, a lot of tutorials, my study videos. Those videos are all just ways that I studied myself. I would get my study guides and I would talk into my microphone, and then I would listen to these videos on repeat. And I was like, whatever, I'll post it on YouTube, because I'm sure there's other people out there that find that content valuable. Again, at the time I wasn't an instructor, now I am. And I did make a website. I haven't really done much with it, so I went ahead and I shut that down for the time being, because I really want to get a lot of teaching experience before I start providing this instruction to people online. So I'm not going to be doing that, so stay tuned for that in the future. It'll come, sometime this year. And I just really wanted to ask you guys one-on-one, if you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. But what would you guys like to see? I could do aviation safety videos, reviewing incidents. Also, I could just make more guides. If you guys want to see updated ACS series videos, maybe you guys want me to make flying videos. I've had people actually recognize me at flight schools and be like, hey, you should make flying videos. Why don't you make flying videos if you fly? The reason why is simply safety. When I fly, I want to be 100% focused on what I am doing then and there. Now, one day I might be flying a jet, and I would totally record that, because you just mount it, set it, and forget it. But if I have students, conversations that I have with students and other instructors, I want that to be private. And that's simply that. Now, there might be some flights I want to record for a specific reason, like the person I said I'm flying with the 2023 aircraft. But outside of that, I probably will not be making flight videos for the sake of privacy and respect of others that I fly with. But I want to ask you guys, as my audience, what do you guys want to see from me? Because I really want to upload videos, but I only want to upload valuable content that you guys will benefit from. I'm not one of those YouTubers that just wants to maximize my ad revenue and clickbait you guys and make you guys sit through a 10-minute video or 15-minute video, which is me just sponsoring myself or saying, hey, come check out my e-course or my ebook or my website. I really just want to provide content and value to those that watch my videos. I have no desire to take your time that is valuable to you. That's why I start all my videos immediately. I say, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. Let's do it. And I jump straight into all my videos. You can click on any of my videos. I don't sit there and talk for 5 minutes before I get to the point. I hate videos like that. Maybe you guys can relate. But again, leave in the comments down below what you guys would like to see from me. Happy New Year's. See you guys in the next one. See you.